Hello friends, Jai Shri Ram. Today we are going to see how to install Windows 11 on your system. So first of all, let us see whether your system satisfies the requirements. So you should just search here Win 11 system requirements. Go to the very first link. Okay, and you'll be able to see that the requirement for setting up Windows 11 is that your processor speed should be at least 1 GHz, your RAM should be at least 4 GHz, your storage should be 64 GBs, your firmware should be UEFI and not legacy, and the boot mode should be UEFI and not legacy, and your boot should be secure boot capable. Okay, then trusted platform module version 2 is required. So what is trusted platform module? So basically, previously we used to have keys only in the software. Software means what and hardware means what? Hardware means all the parts of the PC that you can touch, and software means the operating system and all the programs installed on top of the operating system. Okay, so that is software. So all the keys previously used to be only in the software, that means only in the OS or in the programs installed on top of the OS. But a more secure system would be if there was a secret key on your firmware itself. Firmware means your hardware, that means somewhere on your motherboard. So nowadays in the new computers, the motherboard has one chip, and inside that chip there is one secret key, and this secret key is used for encryption, either single or this key is used in combination with the other keys in the software. Okay, so that is called as trusted platform module. So that whole system should be supported by your hardware. So your motherboard should have that kind of a key somewhere on it. Okay, so that is called as trusted platform module. UEFI means what? Before that, I'll let you know what is boot. What is BIOS? Let's start with that. BIOS is basic input output system. That means see, previously what used to happen is hardware directly used to speak to the operating system. Now also this is how it happens, but when you start the PC, then previously operating system automatically used to get loaded. Okay, so now let us say that hardware part is damaged. So when the software loaded, it used to expect that hardware part to be present, and it was not present, so that software used to crash, and then it used to give very weird defect, and you could not understand from that defect that what is happening, man. You could not debug it properly. So just to bifurcate the hardware issues from the software issue, BIOS came into existence. What is BIOS? BIOS is a small program which is stored on the motherboard itself. Okay, now when you start the PC, the operating system doesn't load directly. BIOS runs. Okay, and what BIOS does is basic input output system. That means it only checks whether your hardware is correct or not, whether all the components of your hardware are correctly working or not. If your hardware is not proper, then it will break immediately. Okay, and you will come to know that there is some hardware issue. If the hardware is proper, then bootloader is executed. Bootloader will load the operating system. Okay, so after that, if the operating system still crashes, that means it is definitely a software issue, because BIOS did not crash, BIOS did not give you any exception. That means the hardware was correct, and then you could very easily infer that okay, it is some software problem, the software is corrupt. So either the memory of your SSD or HDD is bad, or the software is malfunctioning. Maybe there is a virus or something like that. Okay, so this BIOS program came into existence just to debug the startup problems more appropriately. Okay, so that was the basic reason why it came. But when it came, then people started thinking on top of it, and people tried to improve the BIOS furthermore. So one step into improvement of BIOS was that they said this BIOS should be intelligent enough to speak to the operating system. That was absolutely unnecessary, but they did it. Okay, but when they did it, then a lot of good things happened. So operating systems nowadays they are able to speak to the BIOS, and they are able to understand with each other that what all hardware components are there, and which of them are in active state or which state, that kind of things, or sharing of this secret key and all. It became possible because this secret key which is there with the hardware, it is accessible through the BIOS to the operating system, and for this some kind of a language needs to be there, or some kind of an interface, some kind of a way of communication should be there between the BIOS and the operating system. So the most sophisticated way of communication between BIOS and operating system is UEFI, that is unified. What is UEFI? Let me tell you. UEFI is Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Okay, so it is a specification that defines the software interface between the operating system and the platform firmware. Okay, so firmware means what? Hardware doesn't have any knowledge. Okay, it doesn't have any mind. The mind of the hardware is actually BIOS. So basically it is a communication channel, or the interface between the operating system and the firmware. That means between the operating system and BIOS. Okay, so what Windows 11 says is that Windows 11 uses UEFI interface to speak to the BIOS. Now your BIOS should also be intelligent enough to speak in this language, UEFI. Besides, BIOS mode should be UEFI and not legacy. Means in legacy, see, basically what happens is UEFI is an interface, it's a way of talking, right? So BIOS should be configured in such a way that it should speak in that language. Like if I am an operating system and you are the BIOS, I am speaking in English, then you should also speak in English to me. Okay, then and only then the communication is proper. Okay, if I speak in English, you only understand Marathi, it won't work. Or if you speak in English and I understand only Marathi, that's not going to work. So both of us should understand one language, and that is English. Let us say here it is UEFI. Okay, so your Win 11 operating system only speaks in UEFI, so BIOS should understand and should be configured to speak in UEFI. Okay, then TPM I already explained to you. Your graphics card should be, your GPU, graphical processing unit, should support DirectX 12 or above. Almost all GPUs support nowadays. Display resolution should be at least 720 pixel. Of course your resolution is more than that, and you should have an internet connection, and you should have a Microsoft account. So previously in let us say Windows XP, we could install Windows XP without a live ID, that means without having an account in Microsoft. It was possible, but nowadays Microsoft compensates it that you have to, it is made very compulsory that you need to have a Microsoft account, that means a live ID, and then and only then you will be able to install this operating system. Okay, so that is also one of the requirements. Now all these things you can check on your own also, like you can go to system information. Yeah, so system information app is there. You can go to this, you can find out your operating system and processor speed. Let us check. See, I'll keep them side by side. See, processor speed. Yeah, my processor speed is 3.6 gigahertz, so it is more than 1 GB. Then 1 gigahertz. Yeah, RAM should be 4 GB, mine is 16 GB. Then storage space should be at least 64 GB. So for that, I can directly go to my Explorer. I can just check over here. See, basically I have C drive and D drive, they are all into my SSD, which is 250 GB. Yeah, so it is 250 GB. And my hard disk, I've kept my entire hard disk as one partition, and it is 1 terabyte. So the entire hard disk is there. So I can install this on, let us say, SSD. I should be installing it on SSD because that is solid state drive. It does not have any moving parts. It is like a pen drive. So it is the fastest, input output is very fast. hard disk is a disk which is rotating and then there is a head to read it. So that is, mechanical parts are involved, so it is slower. Because basic thing I'll tell you, and a pen drive basically works using transistors. Okay, so it is something electrical. Electricity is the fastest thing in the world. Means fastest thing in the world means you get the idea, right? Now as compared to that, if there is anything moving and you try to read something from the moving parts, then it is definitely going to be slow. You cannot rotate the disk with the speed of electricity, right? It's not possible. Electricity is almost instantaneous. Rotation is still taking some time, and that is why hard disks are slower than SSDs. So always install your operating system on SSD. Okay, that means solid state drive. HDD means hard disk drive. Okay. Now here I have a lot of free space, so definitely I can install. It is more than 64 GB free space, so I can install it on this drive. Okay, so this is how you can check all the requirements on your own. Absolutely, these two requirements you won't understand, so I'll tell you how to set them up in the BIOS. And after you are done with all these requirements, you can also download this PC Health Check app. So you download this app and it will, when you install it and when you run it, then it shows a check now button. So when you check your system, then it will tell you that which of these requirements is fulfilled and which of these requirements is not fulfilled. So mostly you will be caught into these two requirements, because the other things, normally your PC will be 1 GHz above clock speed. Your RAM should be more than 4 GB. Everybody's RAM is more than 4 GB nowadays. Storage space, it must be free. 64 GB, it must be free on your system. Graphics card, every graphics card in the world nowadays supports DirectX 12 or above. And resolution 720 it is asking for. See, I'll tell you how much is our resolution. Just go to display settings, and here you will see display resolution. So my display resolution is this much. 720 means what? 720 means, see, my lowest resolution is 800. Okay, this first number should be greater than 720. So the highest resolution here that I am supporting is 1720 by something. Okay, and the expectation is only 720 pixel. So definitely my system is supporting it, and your system will also support it. So the only place where you will get caught is either your BIOS is not secure boot capable, or it is working in legacy mode and not in UEFI mode. So that is one requirement. Another is TPM is probably not enabled at your BIOS level. So now I will tell you how to do these two things. Okay, UEFI and TPM. Okay, trusted platform module. So for that you will have to restart your system. Now I am restarting my PC so that I can enter into BIOS. So I am restarting it, as you can see. And I am using MSI BIOS. Okay, so I should be pressing the delete key to enter the BIOS setup. If you are using a Dell PC, then it must be having AMI BIOS. So for AMI BIOS, you should be pressing the F2 key. So if you don't know which BIOS you are using, keep pressing delete key. Once press delete key, once press F2 key, once press delete key, once press F2 key. Keep doing this while your PC is starting. Okay, let me just put the password. So this is called a secure BIOS. Secure BIOS means at the BIOS level also I can keep a password. So it should be secure capable BIOS. It's not necessary that you give a password or you set up a password at the BIOS level, but your BIOS should be supporting that. Okay, now when you enter an MSI BIOS setup, you see two modes. One is easy mode, another is advanced mode. So you can switch between them using F7 key, as you can see over here, or using your mouse. Your mouse works over here. So this is again modern BIOS. This is the mode of the BIOS is not legacy, it is UEFI. That means it is intelligent enough. You can use your mouse, keyboard, anything. Otherwise in the older BIOSes you could only use your keyboard. So now you can use both of them. And now I'm in the advanced mode. Now go to settings. I'll just tell you 3 basic settings that you should care about. go to security, go to trusted computing. This should be DTPM. TPM means what? Trusted platform module. So it should be DTPM. Okay. Then second thing should be, go to settings, go to boot. Here you should be able to see UEFI. If it is not showing UEFI, then again go to settings, go to advanced, go to Windows OS configuration, and over here you should select UEFI. Okay, if you select UEFI in Windows OS configuration, then automatically when you go to boot, here also automatically it will show UEFI. Okay, so do these 2-3 settings. First you go to security, trusted computing, this should be DTPM. Then go to boot, check whether this is UEFI. If it is not UEFI, then go back, go to advanced, go to Windows OS configuration and make this UEFI. Okay, that is all. After that, as usual, you should go to boot and you should correct the boot options in such a way that first boot option should be the USB bootable pen drive. Second option should be, maybe I have given here USB hard drive, but you can directly give whichever hard drive it is. And third option here is my actual hard drive, but you can give the options accordingly. First option should be the pen drive, a bootable pen drive which we are going to insert after some time. Okay, so just do this. After doing this, you just close it from here. It will automatically ask you that, see, these are the changes that you made. Here in my case I do not make any changes, but you will be making some changes, right? So all your changes will be listed over here, and then you will be asked whether you want to save these changes, yes or no. So I'll say yes, I want to save these changes, and it will automatically restart after this. So now my PC is restarting. Okay, my PC has started. Now we will create an installation media, that means a bootable pen drive, and then we will install Win11. Okay, so just go to internet and search for Win11 bootable USB. Go to the very first website. Okay, so here it will ask you, okay, which Windows do you want to install? So I'll say Windows 11, and then it will give me 3 options. Either you can create an installation assistant, or you can create an installation media, or you can download the ISO file, which you can later burn on a USB or a DVD to create the installation media. Okay, so what is installation assistant? That means on your Win10 system itself, it will install a software. When you run it, then it will guide you through the entire process, and at the end of it install Win11. Okay, so one is that. Another option is to create a bootable pen drive or a bootable DVD. Okay, so this is the option that we are going to take. And then the third one is you can download the ISO file on your system, and then at your convenience, whenever you want, you can burn that file onto a USB to create a bootable USB, or you can burn it on a DVD to create a bootable DVD. Okay, so I will go with the second option, that means this one, creation of Windows 11 installation media. Okay, for this you will have to download a small program. 10 MB is the size. So when you download it and when you run it, let me see whether I have downloaded it. Yeah, I have downloaded it. So it is this media creation tool. So when it runs, it basically tells you that okay, first of all, accept the terms, then probably the language should be English, so that is what you should be accepting next. Come on, yeah, English. After that, it will ask you what do you want to create, a bootable pen drive or a bootable DVD drive. So the pen drive should be at least 8 GB. That means here I have a Sony pen drive of 8 GB. Okay, so similar kind of a 8 GB, at least 8 GB space should be there on your pen drive. Okay, now when I select USB flash drive, and I click next, then it gives me an exception, it gives me an error that there is no USB flash drive inserted into your PC. Okay, so now I will insert this into the PC. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, I have just inserted the pen drive into the system, and now I will just click on this refresh drive list. So it has refreshed it and it is showing my pen drive, and then I can go next. As soon as I do next, it will start setting up this pen drive as a bootable pen drive. Okay, so that means probably it will pull all the setup files from the internet and burn it on the pen drive. My pen drive is already bootable, so I won't go into details. This is how I created the bootable pen drive. Okay, now I'll keep it inserted and I will restart the system. So as you know, in the boot options, my first boot priority option is the bootable pen drive. So automatically the pen drive will be detected and setup will start from that pen drive. Okay, so let me just cancel this because I already have a bootable pen drive, and then I will restart the system. Before restarting, I'll just stop the recording. Okay, so now I'm restarting the system. Restart. So now it must be reading from the pen drive, and by default my pen drive should start the Win11 setup, because that is my boot priority number 1, bootable pen drive. Yeah, so this purple screen means it is bootable pen drive. Now in this Win11 setup, first of all, language selection, then install now. When you click install now, it will start installing Win11. Everything is very simple from here. You go forward. I have already installed Win11. I don't want to mess up that setup, so I'll stop over here. But this is how you basically install Win11. If you still find a difficulty, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely answer all your comments. Other than that, if you want to speak personally to me, then in the video description you have my phone number. You can call me up. You also have the address, my home address, in the video description. So if you're facing some difficulty, then feel free to drop by, feel free to come to my home and I'll help you out. Okay, so until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.